Greeting interwebs, this is Jacket K, and welcome for another edition of Game and Chill. I've been struggling to find a good time to actually record this month, so I decided to just do a quick post-commentated session, and we'll add the gameplay on after the fact. So this will probably be a shorter video because I'm focusing mostly on news and updates for the month, and even then I'm not sure there's too much to talk about. I've been spending most of my free time, aka time outside of the day job, working on game development, specifically with adding features to Kremling hunting, slowly working on making the other levels for it so I can actually use the clones that I created a while back, and continuing to find ways to use it as an excuse to learn more about Godin. If you've been following along with the shorts I upload, then you may already be familiar with this because I have started up a weekly series where I do YouTube shorts on the progress I've been making in game development, and I'm hoping to continue that going forward. In terms of my more traditional videos though, I'm still working on finishing up Pokemon XG Next Gen. I have attempted Auray Coliseum, and based on the video you've probably seen at this point, I feel pretty content with saying that I tried. Man, I couldn't even get past the first two battles, let alone the first round / sets of battles. And I feel like that's not gonna change unless I dedicate an entire weekend to it and completely rework my teams. So for now, I am content with just finishing up the final 10 battles of Mount Battle and calling it there. Unfortunately, I don't have solid plans yet of what I'm gonna do after Pokemon XG, and it'll take some time before I'm ready to commit to a new series. I'm strongly considering just flat out taking a break from recording videos for a couple months, but that's kind of up in the air. Right now I'm just trying to get time and motivation to line up to record more Pokemon XG so I can finish up Mount Battle and be done with that series before committing to anything new. In fact, as a whole, before I take on a new series, I think there's some loose ends I need to wrap up. Like a certain Golden Sun video that's no longer relevant because I've completely shifted from modding to game development. But even though I want to move on, the people who can't play the mods still deserve this video. It's the least I can do for the Golden Sun fans. Actually, it's been so long since I've done a game show, I don't know if I've ever mentioned it. But I do have a VOD channel. It's mostly for the very old Twitch VODs before I started multi-streaming on both Twitch and YouTube. Just so that those videos have another place to live on after the whole Twitch storage limit debacle and that. It is a side channel, so there are some times I forget to schedule videos to go up for it. Especially because a lot of the older VODs, well, not a lot of them, but I should say a good handful of the older VODs, I actually want to sit down and overview, just to make sure I still want them uploaded to the internet. The point I'm trying to get at is there's no promises I'll upload every week, but when I sit down and schedule videos to upload, I tend to have them scheduled one video every week. Sometimes if they're very small videos, because the way I did the highlights, I didn't actually highlight the VODs. Sometimes I would actually divide them up into sections like they were YouTube videos. In those cases for the small stuff, I may be willing to upload multiple a week. But the point being is, like, on average, there'll be an upload once a week to that channel. I emphasize in the description and the titles of the videos, but these are very old VODs. So watch at your own discretion. I'd like to think that I've improved a lot in quality between now and back when those were initially streamed / recorded. The whole reason I'm dumping them onto another channel is because of the awkward situation of them being new uploads, but of very old videos. So it feels inevitable that someone's gonna stumble upon them thinking that they're fresh content and not have the context for when I initially made them. Puts me in a bit of a situation of not wanting to upload them but wanting them to be preserved. But I think hiding them on a side channel is a fair compromise, especially because I don't have to look at the comments on said side channel. As for streaming, sorry, yeah, kind of like I said in the last Game and Chill, I've been kind of falling off with streaming, Doesn't help that like Deltarune came out a couple weeks ago, if even a week ago. So I definitely wasn't streaming that week. This week, as I'm recording Game and Chill, I wasn't really feeling up to streaming yesterday. I think when I finish up videos, I'll try to get back into a streaming routine. No promises, but it does feel likely at this point. But overall, I'm going to be taking things a bit casually. Things are already kind of off the routine on the video end, so it's inevitable that stream is going to be in just as quote-unquote bad, if not worse of a state. Like, I can't really apologize too much, because I have been enjoying putting that time that I used to put into YouTube into working on furthering my game development skills, but it would be nice if I had a better balance of it all. It's just that there's no pressure to do so, since none of it is my day job, so that's always going to get first and foremost priority. So yeah, this is way too short, even for a short Game and Chill, so I won't call it off here, but I will take a break. Actually, I changed my mind. It's been a long week, and I don't feel like recording this weekend, and I'd rather just get this video out now than wait for a good opportunity to record. So, thank you all for tuning in for this edition of Game and Chill. We'll see how I am next month. YouTube's kind of in a weird place for me in general. I guess I'll elaborate in a community post at the very least, if it continues to be that way. Until we meet again, take care.